Am I the asshole to protect a friend's identity after they ruined a baby shower? So, right. My friend had a baby shower and she has had massive issues with her parents and siblings. No boundaries, body shaming, golden child, scapegoat situations, the whole package. She did not want them there but relented since her grandparents were paying. Majority of those attending were friends from college who have heard of these garbage people and expected bad behavior. A few of us were allowed +1s and I brought a friend. This part is largely the why I feel like my friend likes to start fights or start problems for fun. I know this about him as did lots of the party. If there is an opening he will take it. As we assumed during the party the parents and her older sister tried some nonsense body shaming. Joking about the baby inheriting her mental health and looks. Then things started to get really bad, like these people totally forgot there's like 20 people watching them, including another 60 on Zoom, being recorded. The in-laws who are good people started to get mad. Grandparents are embarrassed and won't say anything, and then the next thing I know friend appears with the garden hose and aims it at the sister on full blast. It's been hot, so the initial blast was hot water and he started to scream really terrible but also true things at the sister and parents. He then proceeded to run out of the backyard and disappeared. The baby shower ended there and my friend having the baby shower was glad to have it end early but very anxious of the future blowback. Since this was my friend, the sister and parents want their full name, info to file a police report. I am refusing because 1, I did not tell him to do that, and 2, I spoke lengthy with my friend who was having the baby shower. Her husbands and his family were thankful it ended. It was not how they wanted it to happen, but okay, it happened. Herself is really numb right now. She has anxiety and is very stressed out, but she is moving to another state near her in-laws soon and will be almost 10 hours by plane away from her family. Why I'm here? Surprisingly, there is a split on the friends group that I knew this guy's history and knew he would do something, and there is a time and a place for everything, and this was not it. And that IWBTA if I don't give his name up because what he did was wrong. So am I the asshole for bringing trouble-making friend and also not giving up his name for the police report? Update. I accept I am the asshole for bringing him. And I spoke to the mom-to-be and apologized. She actually spoke to him last week and he is going to apologize to the parents, siblings. There is no police report, they just wanted a name. In our area this is not considered report-worthy since there were no injuries. The parents more so wants all copies of the Zoom deleted, more so concerned with their actions recorded. Sibling is applying for master's programs and they are concerned with the Zoom video out there. Which is going to be another ordeal now, much worse than this since majority of the programs she applied to had alumni watching the Zoom. I am not a part of this piece, so I'm just going to apologize to the family as well and limit contact with Ho's friend. Edit 2. Forgot to add the video has been making the rounds and several attendees and their friends have started sending cards with funds to help with the move quicker for mom-to-be and husband. So some good came out of this. They were saving up for the U-Haul and gas. This was to take another 2 months, but they have enough now and plan to move in 2 weeks. Ho's friend is the larger contributor. I am contributing my time, gas funds to drive one of the U-Hauls. Edit 3. Why no one including myself intervene? We were asked by mom-to-be not to intervene. Most of us from college got a taste of this family about once a month for 4 years when they would show up, start shit and get hauled away. We were a small college that saw this as a bit of entertainment but became interested in mom-to-be. She was well known by the end of 4 years and we genuinely love and care for her. I think for folks looking in this was weird, no one stepped in, but it felt like being back at college on a Sunday morning hung over and seeing the mom screaming her head off in from the wrong dorm room looking to yell at her daughter. We did not react like actual adults should. Edit 4. Ages. Yes, we should have no better. Mom-to-be is 34. I'm 34 and Hosman is 35. All 3 of us work in the entertainment industry in the business, management side and work for entities with very large social media presences and have signed social media and ethics contracts. A lawsuit would absolutely got Hosman in trouble. Also, Hosman and mom-to-be dated briefly, not strangers. Edit 5. No injuries at all. The water was hot and not scalding. She was hit with water at chest level. Let's break this down. You brought someone who you know has little to no self-control to an emotionally heightened situation. Specifically, in a situation you knew the family would start some chaos. You brought the person that is known to cause problems. In short, you brought a flame to a gasoline store that already had smoke. Now, you are trying to cover for this person who assaulted someone. He could have told the family to fuck off, told them to leave, etc. But instead he unleashed a damn hose and could have seriously hurt someone. The answer didn't have to be spraying the sister with water, but that was where he took it. The situation already had drama and now you are trying to protect the person who needs to answer for their actions. You are the asshole. There is a time and a place for everything and this was not it. If turning a water hose on someone insulting a pregnant woman's body and mental health isn't a good time to turn a hose on them like a misbehaving dog, then what is? Not the asshole. No one was actually harmed, the rude sister just got wet and extremely embarrassed, and I don't there is anything the police would even do. My good angel is telling me what your friend did was inappropriate and did not help the situation and might even have made things worse for your pregnant friend with her toxic family. My devil thinks it's hilarious and congratulates you on inviting someone you knew would put them in their place. No assholes here because it's not like you asked them to save the day. Just hope they would. Today I'm all about moral ambiguity. Hard not the asshole, but I'm expecting to be downvoted here. I get it. He assaulted someone with a jet of water and that's shitty. You know what else is shitty? Shit talking a very pregnant person for no good reason at their goddamn baby shower, in front of dozens of their friends and in-laws. I guess technically you and your friend are the asshole but, man, if there isn't a time and place to be one sometimes. Sounds like your pregnant friend's family, to paraphrase a phrase Reddit loves, played a stupid game and won a very stupid prize. Please buy your hose-wielding friend a beer on behalf of all body-shamed pregnant folks. Edit. Hose not house. Why is everyone saying you are the asshole? The real you are the asshole is that family and how they acted towards the daughter. The sister earned that shower after the shit she did. TBH, your friend is my hero. Fuck them. Don't give up your friend. Those Oz earn this. Ooh, this is a tricky one. I'm particularly concerned that it took for your friend, a total stranger to the mom-to-be, to stand up for her against her abusive family while everyone including yourself just stood by and watched. The woman is pregnant for fuck's sake. 80% of Reddit says ta. Interesting. As someone who has been abused by my own family in this manner, that man is a fucking hero. People are screaming about physical assault but does no one care that the pregnant woman was being mentally and emotionally assaulted in front of everyone? That shit lasts years. A hot water blast that didn't do any physical harm isn't going to send the abusive shitty sister to therapy. And the pregnant lady and the in-laws and father-to-be were low-key thankful for the garden hose karma fairy. So fuck that shitty abusive family. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, the only assholes here are the girl's family. They were comfortably enough to treat her like garbage and humiliate her in front of her friends while pregnant. Clearly abusive and okay with it. They fucking had it coming. Also, it's water for fuck's sake. Am I the asshole for calling my brother-in-law lazy in front of everyone? Last weekend I invited my husband's 2 brothers and their wives to stay over the weekend and have a birthday party for my husband. My husband's youngest brother arrived on Friday night with his wife and stayed in our guest bedroom while the eldest brother offered to smoke some pork butt overnight and bring it to the party. The poor guy was up all night smoking that thing and I told him I didn't want him to lose out on his sleep over it but he insisted. So Saturday I get up early and I am cooking and baking all day and my husband, his brother's wives and his eldest brother are all helping out. Everyone is busting their butts, except the youngest. He is sitting down in the living room playing video games for hours without a single offer to help. Even the few times I hinted to him that I needed help he came up with some bullshit excuse why he wasn't going to be able to help out. Fast forward to the party. Everything came out great. All the food was good and everyone was enjoying themselves. And the scumbag brother makes a joke about my cooking to everyone at the party. At this point I had had enough of him so I told him, "You're one to talk. Everyone helped with the cooking and to put this party together. Everyone except you. You're a lazy and entitled parasite." Now. I know that my retort wasn't the most diplomatic and that I shouldn't have embarrassed him in front of everyone. And my husband got mad at me and said that I was an asshole for calling him out in front of everyone and that I needed to apologize to his brother. I told him I didn't owe him an apology at all. Am I the asshole? I feel like one after the fact. I know I should have kept my mouth shut. But I still don't think I should apologize to him. Edit. For those who say that I shouldn't have expected people to help out, I will add that it's an unwritten family rule that when a family member invites others for a dinner party, everyone is expected to contribute, either by helping out or bringing a dish. It's always been like that for as long as my husband can remember and I've adapted to their custom. Edit 2. My brother-in-law always never contributes. Not just at family gatherings but with anything. My husband's family is very close-knit. Actually everyone is awesome but him, and they're always helping each other out. He only asks for help but never helps anyone. In my husband's own words, he always finds a way to warn himself out of helping. Edit 3. My brother-in-law said in front of everyone that my food tasted like prison food. For those wondering if in fact the food tasted bad, it didn't. It tasted delicious. Everyone was complimenting it and some requested the recipes for some of the dishes, which is what prompted him to make that unsavory joke. He also didn't have a problem with the food as he had already had 2 servings and was on his way to his 3rd before insulting it. Edit 4. Eventually even his wife started asking him for help and he would still not help out. I feel bad for his wife because it's not just at gatherings. It's with everything. She does everything around the house, from cooking to fixing stuff that gets broken to doing all the errands. And all he does is play video games and watch TV. He is a complete deadbeat. I don't know how she puts up with it. She's got the patience of a saint. Edit 5. Some commenters suggested putting away our console. The problem is that he has his own and takes it wherever he goes. This time was no exception. As soon as he got up he connected his console and started playing. Edit 6. Some have asked why my husband didn't say something to my brother-in-law first. He didn't have time. As soon as my brother-in-law insulted my food I snapped back with my insult. I don't know what happened after that because I was seeing red and left the room and went for a walk to calm myself down. I knew if I stayed I would say a few more choice words to him and would have made things worse. They may have scolded him. I don't know. By the way, thank you all for your comments. Even those that say that I'm ta. It's very enlightening to see people's opinion of this situation and to make me aware where I went too far. Not the asshole. I'm so sick of the entitled family members that do nothing to help but are the first to belittle everyone and make jokes at others' expense. You called him out. Good for you. In front of the people who always make stupid excuses for their behavior. You're my new hero. Smiling face with hearts. Next time no more hints, ask nicely the first time. If it's not done, you're the new drill sergeant, they do it or. Don't let the door heat ya where the good Lord split ya. Everyone who stays here helps around the house, it's called family, you're not their maid. Not the asshole. As you said, everyone was automatically pitching in, meaning that this is the norm for his family. It may be an expectation for many people, like me, when invited I don't have to pitch in, but that is obviously not the way things go for his own family. So there was an unwritten expectation of help. He was then asked for help. He played games whilst everyone was obviously pitching in and did nothing. He then insulted your efforts in a pretty nasty way. He was entitled and he was very much acting like a parasite as this was not a mutually beneficial arrangement. He was latched on and sucking away like a leech. Only go drop off when full. Edit. And I'm betting he was too offended to help everyone with cleanup, right? So your husband thinks you owe baby brother an apology for calling out his juvenile and lazy behavior in front of everyone who witnessed said behavior? It may have not been the best way to respond, but you were definitely not the asshole for calling an asshole out on being an asshole. Tell your husband next year he can do all the work for his own birthday. You'll be taking a spa day since his brother's feelings matter more to him than yours after you put in a metric ton of work while bro sat on his assets. Your comment wasn't diplomatic, but it was true. He had just insulted you, in your own home, while a guest there, in front of everyone there. You had every right to respond in public. Your husband is a total $a hat for not supporting you in this. No. Do not apologize to the little, baby, brother or your useless husband. Not the asshole. I just want to point out one thing. This typo is awesome. I called my brother in lazy. I'm so LMAO. Esh. Honestly, I would explain to your husband that while you feel justified in being upset, you recognize that wasn't the best way to respond, nor was it the best place to do it. Then tell him that next time they come over you expect him to make his brother contribute, to avoid any future unpleasantness with the bill. I don't think you're the a-hole for calling out his laziness, but you are one for the parasite remark. Surely you knew that it wasn't going to go down well? Did you, or anyone else, ask for his help? Am I the asshole for leaving a dog that I am dog sitting outside all day? My wife and I just bought our first house about 6 months ago. It's nothing special, but it's ours and we are very happy with it. It has a big fenced-in backyard with lots of mature trees and is very private. We are still in the process of making some improvements and redecorating, but no major renovations. A few weeks ago my Mill asked my wife if we would be okay with dog-sitting her Airedale Terrier for a weekend while she goes out of state to visit her sister. My wife loves dogs and wants to get one now that we have a house, but I've been hesitant and want to wait until we get more settled. My wife agreed without talking to me about it. When she told me about it she was so excited because she felt this was a great trial run, to have our own dog. I was a little upset that she made the decision without even talking to me about it, but she was so excited about it that I let it go. I became even less enthusiastic about it a week later when my wife told me she forgot she had a work event that weekend and would be out of the house all day that Saturday, which meant that I would be the only one to care for the dog. When Mill came to drop the dog off, she left food, a few toys, and the dog's bed. I asked about a kennel in case we need to keep the dog separate for any reason, and she said she's never kenneled her dog and that the dog will just sleep on the bed or find a couch. We spent Friday night getting the dog accustomed to the house and took it for a walk, and my wife cuddled with it on the couch all night. On Saturday morning, my wife left for work and I took the dog for a walk in the morning. When we got back I started working on some house projects I wanted to get done and just left the dog to wander around. When I took a break to make lunch, I saw that the dog had chewed up the entire arm of a chair and torn apart 2 pillows while I was working. I was pissed, but I understand it's just a dog and didn't yell or anything. So I took the dog outside into the backyard and left it there while I cleaned up the mess. I even left it outside after I finished cleaning. When my wife got home from work and found the dog outside, she asked how long it had been out there. I told her what happened and why the dog was outside, and she flipped out on me. She said I should have been more attentive to the dog and it was my fault that the dog got bored and destroyed stuff. She said her mom would be pissed if she found out I neglected it and left it outside all day. I told her I didn't even want to watch the dog in the first place, and if she wanted specific care for the dog she should have made arrangements at work so that she could be home to take care of it since she agreed to watch it. She said I was an asshole for punishing the dog for my own shortcomings, and I'm lucky the dog didn't get hurt or escape our yard and run away. I told her it's ridiculous to blame me for the dog's behavior and it's fine anyway, so no harm no foul. Edit. It was 65 degrees out and we have lots of mature trees, so the dog had plenty of shade. I did put a dish outside with water. Our fence is a 6 female chain link, so I don't think it could jump it. It was outside from around 12:30 p.m. to when my wife got home around 6 p.m. Every time I went to check on the dog it was either laying in the sun or chasing squirrels. It did dig a few holes in the yard, but I don't really care about that. Edit. Based on response, not the asshole. Leaving a dog outside to play in a securely fenced yard for 5.5 hours in moderate weather with shade and water available is not unreasonable. Info. What was the temperature outside? What shade was available, and was there fresh, clean water available? Also, how tall is the fence? And how long is all day? Not the asshole. As long as the temperature wasn't extreme there is nothing wrong with leaving a dog outside. That isn't neglect, they can entertain themselves. Your wife sounds like she is being hypersensitive to the dog, which is pretty normal for someone who doesn't have their own pet but clearly wants one. Not the asshole. It's a little predictable that even a normally well-behaved dog will become anxious and chew things up when they're left in a new environment unattended. However, leaving a dog in a fenced-in yard all day is far from animal abuse, assuming the dog had access to water and shade, or some form of warmth, pending the weather. This is going to come up if y'all get your own dog. Your wife has some high standards for how the animal is going to be cared for, but I don't think she's envisioning herself doing all the care herself. Not the asshole. You put the dog in the yard for what I assume to be a couple of hours, not overnight. I don't see the problem. As long as it's not a puppy and had access to water, it's fine. No assholes here, although your wife is borderline for not discussing it with you beforehand. She's right, it's your job to pay enough attention to the dog that it doesn't get into trouble. But what the fuck is she doing leaving you someone who has shown her that he doesn't really care about the dog in charge of this animal all day long? Bottom line is you two need better communication about responsibilities and expectations before you actually get your own dog. Not the asshole assuming you don't live where it's 100 degrees. Dogs can be outside, they like it. Not the asshole. Sounds like from your other comments that the dog was safe and the temp was fine. You left water out for it and there was shade. That's a lot more than what some actual dog owners do, unfortunately. Not the asshole. And #X200B. Just refuse to do it. Let your wife handle it. She agreed, you did not. And #X200B. She said her mom would be pissed if she found out I neglected it and left it outside all day. She neglected it and left it out all day. You did not agree to anything, she did. And #X200B. And #X200B. I told her it's ridiculous to blame me for the dog's behavior and it's fine anyway, so no harm no foul. You are right. Your wife is the asshole here. And #X200B. And #X200B. But you can be glad, because it really showed both of you that getting your own dog won't work and is not a good idea. Am I the asshole for making my teenager daughter's bedtime hour suit my work schedule? My opinion. My 17-year-old teenager and I have frequent arguments about bedtime. When it is not a school night, she will stay up until 3 a.m. in the morning playing video games. On a school night until 12 a.m. While I understand this is an important way for her to connect with her friends, we also live in a very small place and her playing video games and chatting keeps me up at night when I have to wake up by 6 a.m. for work each morning. We have a one-bedroom basement suite and my bedroom is in the living room. There is only a pocket door between where I need to sleep and where she is in the bedroom playing online with her friends. I am afraid we will disturb the other tenants that live next door or the landlord upstairs, which increases my anxiety as well. Tonight I got up rather than lying in bed, and sat in her bedroom just so she can tell how long she is actually keeping me awake. She stayed playing her games for another hour from 2–3 a.m., and told me to take sleeping pills if I couldn't handle it. She does nearly no chores and has few responsibilities in the house, often doesn't leave her room on the weekends until 12 p.m. She does attend school regularly, earns average grades, and does all her homework but no additional studying or prep. My daughter's opinion. In my daughter's opinion I am in a hole and abtch. She has trouble making friends at school and I should be supporting her spending time with her friends when they are available. They mostly graduated in the last 2 years and they work until midnight. She feels like my bedtimes of 12 a.m. on weekends or holidays is unreasonable. Update. To answer a few more questions and give background. My daughter did do chores for much of her life. She had a really rough time of it last year as she came out as trans, and even stopped schooling for a few months as she felt really uncomfortable being there. But we worked through that. This is when chores and the such went by the wayside, as my bottom line was school attendance and all work at school being completed. She has learning challenges as well, so may never attain more than average grades, but she could be achieving more with more dedicated study. My daughter has high-functioning autism as well, so it's been a challenge for her to make or keep friends. These friends that she spends time with online have been really great friends with her. She used to spend a lot of time with them pre-COVID in-person events, but these have been all suspended due to COVID, and this is why time has transitioned to online. This swearing at me is something very recent. She does use headphones when chatting with her friends. So it's not their discussion but her excited chatter when she's playing. She does go to bed by 12 on weekdays. She putters around after 11 p.m. to see how much further she can get. It's the weekends that are the problem. And I'm not poor, but I am a single mom. I actually have a graduate degree and earn a good salary, but I'm not willing to pay 50–60% of my take-home pay on rent as we live in a very high cost of living city, one of the most expensive in the world. In my town it is $550,000 minimum for a 40-year-old 2-bedroom apartment. Plan is to move after she finishes high school this year to somewhere where I could purchase something more reasonably. Not the asshole. You're not even setting a bedtime of 12 a.m. You're setting a limit on sleep-disturbing noise of 12 a.m. That's more than fair. She can always text her friends for an extra hour if there's really no other time she can speak to them. I'd also address the lack of chores and household responsibilities. She's 17, not 7. You are the asshole for not properly parenting your child. You let her dictate bedtimes, how she treats you, how she talks to you, not choosing to wear headphones, not helping around the house. Clear who the parent is here. Here's a wild thought. Parent your child. Irregardless of your work schedule, those are not acceptable hours or behavior for a teenager towards their parent. You've raised an entitled brat and now you're complaining that she's an entitled brat. This is on you. Set boundaries and stick to them. If her gaming is keeping you awake, disconnect the Wi-Fi when you go to bed. You are the asshole for your passive attempt at parenting. Tell her no chatting after 11 or whatever and be done with it. Not the asshole for the reason you asked, but are you aware you're the parent? Want her to be in bed lights off at midnight? Set that precedent then. Weekends might be hard because they're weekends, but the rest of this, including the lack of chores, is 100% on you as a parent. Not the asshole. At some point she's going to have roommates and she can't go around calling them names when she's disrupting the household. Time to set some realistic boundaries, not just around bedtime but helping with chores. She's too old to be babied. You are the asshole. Sounds like you never taught your kid respect or responsibilities. Why would she change all of the sudden?